talk about wrong place at the wrong time. One of them couldn't see what happened. One of them couldn't hear what happened. But both of them are in trouble for it. Hey everybody, what's going on? Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite comedies. I just wanted to go back and watch it. It's been a while since I've watched it, but I love this comedy. Today we are going to be talking about See No Evil, Hear No Evil, starring Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. The premise of this movie is you have a deaf guy, Dave, played by Gene Wilder, and a blind guy, Wally, played by Richard Pryor. And Dave works at like a little convenience store thing. He used to be an actor. And Wally is in need of a job. Plus, he is he has a gambling problem, and he owes a lot of money to a bookie. Wally ends up applying for a job at Dave's little shop, and he starts to work for him. One day while they're working, Wally is trying to get the new newspapers out on the street, while all of a sudden at the shop, the bookie comes looking for Wally. But that being said, while he's looking for Wally, he sees two people that he knows, and he all of a sudden starts freaking out, and he opens up a little compartment in a suitcase and slips a little coin in the little coin box that Dave has at his shop. He's trying to hide this coin. The two people approach the bookie. All the while, Dave is turned around because, of course, Dave can't hear, so he doesn't hear what's going on behind him. The bookie ends up getting murdered by the two people. Now, Wally hears the gunshot from outside, and so all they know of this crime is when Dave turns around, he sees a nice pair of legs. The greatest pair of legs he's ever seen is kind of how he acts. And Wally smells a really nice perfume from the lady with the nice legs. But then they both discover that the body of the bookie's there. And of course, Wally, not knowing who it is, he eventually does find out. So I guess he's out of that debt. But the police think that they committed the murder. So our two unlikely heroes, after evading the police, have to go on a little quest of their own to figure out what is going on before they're killed by these two people who are working for a big bad. Okay, I often call Dave Chappelle the GOAT when it comes to comedy, but we really have to admit, and I think even Dave Chappelle would probably say this, is that Richard Pryor is the real GOAT. I always see Dave Chappelle as like the evolution of Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor is one of, if not the greatest stand-up comedian of all time. And though I've loved him in other movies, and I will be watching a few more, at least one more of his movies for my channel coming up. I have it on the list over here. The best person that you can pair him up with is Gene Wilder. The two of them are darn near perfect together. Now, I'm not going to say that this movie doesn't make some mistakes when it comes to their own rules. See, Dave, Gene Wilder's character, though being deaf, he can read lips, and that's how him and Wally are, how they communicate. So of course, if he's not looking at Wally or anybody else, he doesn't understand what they're saying. Now, there is a few times in this movie where you catch it to where Dave actually, quote unquote, hears what other characters are saying, but he's not looking right at them. But you know what? If that's the extent of the mistakes of this movie, yeah, they're easily forgiven. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. But the adventures, the unlikely adventure of these two, is well worth the price of admission. You also have the two. I don't know if I'm going to call them assassins, but they're the ones trying to track down this coin, and in essence, they're tracking down our unlikely duo. They're played by Joan Severance as Eve. She's the lady with the nice legs. And Kevin Spacey plays Kurgo. And Kevin Spacey in this is just very. I mean, look, I know that he has this controversy right now. I'm not here to talk about that stuff, but if you wanted to hate him in a movie, this would be one of them. If you really want to hate him in a movie, because his character is just snobby and douchey, and you just want to see him fail over and over again, and he does. And though he gets humiliated more than once in this, so if you ever want to see Kevin Spacey get humiliated, here you go. But those two as a duo are really fun together. You can tell they might have more than a business relationship, but they don't really elaborate on it. You can just tell that they're very close. You also have Alan North playing like this bumbling detective that is investigating this, and it just gets to a point where his character, he is so frustrated with this entire case because he'll be trying to talk to Dave, and Wally will tell him he needs to be able to read your lips, so he'll say something real fast, and of course Dave will misunderstand him because he's not enunciating very well, and so then Braddock, Alan North's character, will start to talk like this, and of course that makes Dave start to talk like this, and he's like, what is he doing now? It's one of the best lines. I don't know the exact quote, but Wally says, he's deaf, not stupid. So it's just really funny stuff. Look, the comedic timing throughout this entire movie is what really drives it, because again, you have this unlikely duo trying to do these unlikely things, and plus they're hindered by not being able to hear or not being able to see, respectively. And Pryor and Wilder pull it off spectacularly. There's not much more I want to say about this one because it's on Amazon Prime right now, and it's not the cleanest of movies. I mean, it's full rated R Pryor. Him making some a lot of lewd jokes. He has some fun interactions with the lady with the nice legs, Eve. Dave asks for a last request, and she's like, "Yes, you're gonna die. What do you want?" And he wants his nose scratched. He's in handcuffs, and then she kisses him, and Wally, she's like, "What about you, sir?" And he's just like, "I don't suppose an F is out of the question." So he's just full on Richard Pryor, and like again, his comedic timing is perfect. Gene Wilder's comedic timing is perfect. They play off of everyone beautifully, and of course they play off of each other beautifully. And if you have not seen this movie, it's one of my favorite comedies. Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder are gold in this, and just watching it last night, it still holds up for me. It still holds up, and I do highly recommend it. That's going to be all for this review. See you later.